Hello everyone and welcome to another Celtic Heroes video. In today's video I will try to answer some questions regarding the game in 2025 and my take on everything. Everything from starting with the history of Deca, because I feel like that is the most relevant point to start off with, as you know the game is currently in the hands of Deca. And then Celtic Heroes in 2025. What is it like, etc. What's new, what's old, is it working, is it not working, bugs, glitches, you get the point. And then the third point will be the PC port slash Steam. I can't say PC game because it's a mobile port on PC via Steam, but I'll get into all those details once we get to the third part or point of this video. And then number 4, Deca goals, Deca's business plan. What do Deca actually do? And go a little bit more in depth to that instead of just Deca's history, which will be the first thing I speak about after this intro. And then the 5th point, future of Celtic Heroes. What is the future of the game? Is there a future? Blah blah blah. And then the last point, the actual game. What is it like to even play right now? What do you do? For new players especially, what's the point of the game? Should you play it? Should you not play? Should you quit? Should you come back? I'll try to answer those questions as well as add why I play this game, which if I had a choice to not do it, I wouldn't play the game. But anyways, let's start it off with the history of Deca. Now, the first thing that you need to understand with Deca is that they are not game developers. They have developed one game since they started, since they were founded. Deca's business model is to buy mostly free-to-play mobile games and keep those games running. In their head, manage those games and make them better, improve them, etc. But 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't have to continue because you can just Google Deca games. These are 4 examples of games that they have ruined, and they have acquired games such as Dragonvale, Robbery Bob, 1 and 2, Dead Trigger, 1 and 2, etc. The list kind of goes on. Old mobile games, like anyone who's over the age of 20, you have probably played. Now, I have personally played Celtic Heroes since 2011, on and off. We have had plenty of different owners, developers, people managing the community. There's always been complaints, as with any game that has ever existed. It's always going to be people complaining, and for the most part, for the past couple of years, I have seen a lot of people complain about the game, and I have not felt that all those complaints were justified. But I will get more into the details of that in just a bit when we talk about the actual game in 2025. But for now, some more information regarding just Deca, if this is not enough for you to kind of show how they're really in it for the money and not so much for the players or developing games or improving games, whatever. They were acquired by Embracer Group in 2020, which, if you don't know what Embracer Group is, it is a media and game holding company, which is one of the biggest in the world, and they own a shit ton of companies. They basically buy whatever they want. That's cool. All Embracer look at is the profit margins, the numbers, blah blah blah, nothing else. And on the screen right now, you can obviously see the annual report from Embracer Group from the 2023/24 year. You can see that for the mobile games segment or section of Embracer Group, it is Deca and Easy Brain, which makes up for that entire section. And I wouldn't necessarily go in and talk about net sales or how much money they make, but roughly about $600 million a year, those two companies combined, which is then obviously both parented by Embracer Group as the parent company. But an interesting thing, since Deca has been acquired, they have cut over 300 staff. That is 300 less salaries to pay, 300 less people to fix the fucking problems that they have. And I will quote what Deca themselves claim in the annual report. They have an increased focus on profitability and cash flows. Obviously, when you cut 300 staff from your team, you're not exactly looking at... Anyways, let's forget about Deca for a bit. Well, not so long, because Celtic Heroes in 2025, moving on to the second point of this video, it is a shit show. They added a new area called Valley of the Ancients, which will be the highlight of this year for the game and kind of what's new, right? It's the only new thing since Corrupted Gardens was added, okay? Since Dino was added. It's been like, what, 7, 8, 9 years of fucking no new content at all? So thank you, Deca. You've added something useful. Or have you? Well, actually, there's been glitches, bugs, crashes, performance issues, amongst other things, which I will try to just fit all into this section. And I am probably forgetting some stuff as well. But let's just start off from the beginning. They released Valley of the Ancients, a new area, which with that update, new area comes a new set of armor called Blessed Dodge Ghoul, which essentially means that you can upgrade your Dodge Ghoul, and you need certain faction tiers to get to tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you can upgrade your Dodge Ghoul to tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get the point. I'm not going to go too much into details regarding that. But regardless of what, let's say you get to tier 5, which it is a long grind. It is probably about 4 months of grinding if you have no life, and most likely upwards of 10 months if you have a life. But anyways, there's this new armor in the game, which gives you the Blessed or Enlightened Dodge Ghoul aura, I think it's supposed to be called. Does that aura work? No, it doesn't. The aura does not work. There is a new T11 offhand in the game. Obviously, you have the EDL offhand, which you can turn into a T8 offhand using the echoes from Corrupted Garden bosses. And then you can use the BT seeds to upgrade that to tier 10. Now there's a new offhand upgrade, which adds more damage. Or does it? No, it doesn't, because it doesn't work either. The offhand for tier 5 does not work either. And you thought that was all? No. They have added a new boss called Crom's Mannequin Hellborn, which drops direct damage braces and mists/necks, however you refer to those necklaces as. They are a necklace, but they are a miscellaneous. Anyways, direct damage from those new boss drops. Does that work? No, it doesn't. And you might ask, oh, this is probably a new problem, which Deca will fix. No, it's been a problem since the boss was released, and it has not been fixed, and it's not getting fixed, and it's been a few months now. But let's go back to the actual area itself. Let's forget about all the new content. Let's focus on this new area. This new area overheats practically every fucking device and tablet there is out there, and a lot of people crash. A lot of people cannot play in that area. They have to turn down all their graphics and shit to the bare minimum simply to just not crash when they enter that area. And why do you want to be in this area? Because that's where everything happens. Everything from a daily Dodge Ghoul quest, the faction quest to get your faction tier up, to unlock the faction shop, unlock the tiers for Dodge Ghoul. You get the point. Like, every endgame content in this game is stemming from Valley of the Ancients. And the big fucking problem with all of this is because you can't fucking play in that area. You crash, you have issues, you get what I mean. And I don't have issues because I've got what, 5 different fucking devices to choose from, but some of my devices I can't enter that area. I try to play on Valley of the Ancients through BlueStacks using a gaming PC, which is more than enough specs to run this fucking game. And still, I'm lagging my balls off in Valley of the Ancients. But anyways, apart from that, you would think It's gonna get fixed, right? But here is the actual issue with this. Here's the actual issue with Deca. Here is why I have said that there's been a lot of complaints about the previous owners and developers of this game, but only now do I think everything is justified. There has been threads on Deca's own Discord for over 7 months with all of these issues in details, everything. Deca has still not acknowledged it or even tried to fix it, or just said yes, we know. They have said yes, we know to the boss direct damage problems. They have not said yes, we know to all the fucking issues that the whole entire area has. And it's been 7 months, they still haven't fixed it. But guess what? They have done a bunch of treasure hunter events instead. They've done a meme contest. You get what I'm saying. I think Deca are fucking retarded, and I think they're just prioritizing the wrong fucking things. Well, obviously they fucking are. But when I say Deca, I'm not referring to Six or the community manager, which is Six in this case. But let's talk about Six for a minute. Community manager. What the fuck does he do? Or she? I don't know what he is or she. But he or she is not managing the community. That is another point that I'll get onto later on in the fourth part of this video when I talk about Deca's management and business model and shit. But there is no communication from that community manager, and his only job is literally to communicate with the community. That is his only fucking job. Now, kind of building on top of this, with the third part being the PC port / Steam, PC version, whatever you want to call it. One question: how much money did Deca put towards advertisements for a new PC Steam release of this game? 0. Do you know how much it cost to get maybe 10 million impressions on an advertisement using Google Ads or Facebook or whatever the fuck you want to use? It costs less than $1,000. Deca could have advertised this game for less than $2 grand, and they would have seen well over 1,000 players on release. I can bet my ballsack on that, but they did not advertise it at all. And guess what? The game had like 130 peak players, and the servers, well, you crash every 5 minutes, okay? So the servers are obviously not fucking optimized for running a game with over 130 people. Crazy. And you can use Epona as a prime example. I mean, the server is surviving, the server is running, but compared to other servers, it definitely has its issues just from the concurrent player base, which says all you need to know about the game. But anyways, why the fuck did they release this game on PC? I don't know. It's really hard to explain, because I wouldn't say that it's a cash grab, because I think that guy has only made 150,000 USD from this PC server in platinum sales, which they would make that same fucking money on any other server instead, because the PC release has not brought a single new player to the game. It is simply players from the mobile servers who are trying a new server or who wanted to start fresh, and that was fun, absolutely, except for the fact that you couldn't play for the first week because you were crashing all the time. But let's just skip that part. There isn't a single new player on this server, and as you can see, I am playing on the PC server currently, and I am in a clan on the PC server as well, which is one of the main endgame clans, and I can say with chest there's not a single new player in that clan. Everyone is from the mobile servers. So they didn't bring any new activity, any new players. I wouldn't necessarily say it was a cash grab, because they would have made the same exact money from people buying plat on mobile servers regardless. So why they released this game on Steam is still a fucking mystery to me. And it is not a PC game. It is a PC version of a mobile game using a mobile port on Steam. One of very few games which even exist on Steam with a mobile port. But fair enough. That's cool. You know. Of this video being Deca's goals / management / business model. What are Deca trying to achieve? Which we have covered at the beginning of the video when I showed the, I guess, the financial annual report from Embracer. focusing on Deca, the mobile side of their income, net sales, blah blah blah. Their goal, just like any fucking business, is profit. Being profitable, having good financial numbers. They were bought by Embracer in 2020, like I mentioned, for just under $30 million. Probably overpaid from Embracer's side by a couple $1 million, but it doesn't matter for Embracer because they make that in a day. All right. So in Embracer's eyes, they want a company with high profit margins. That's it. What that actual company does, or how they treat their community or their games or blah blah blah, it doesn't matter. If the numbers are good, the numbers are good. Now, Deca's management of this game is extremely fucking shit, as it is with every single game that they manage. They have only ever developed a single game called Rot MG, short for Realm of something, I don't even fucking know. But anyways, that's the only game that Deca has actually published and developed by themselves. The rest of the games, like I have mentioned, are games that they have bought on the verge of dying, and they're simply like, in simple terms, they are milking those games for money. And you would be very surprised when I tell you that Celtic Heroes is not even bringing Deca any fucking money at all compared to other games, alright? If you are a little bit older than 20, you know Robbery Bob, and you know that whole game franchise and the possibilities of that game and kind of the future that that game had until Deca bought the game. And what is Robbery Bob now? It's fucking dead. But let's focus on Celtic Heroes. Community manager, as we have touched on, 6. I'm not even trying to aim this at 6 or anyone who works for Deca. I'm simply saying, if you're not doing a good fucking job, just leave. This is up to Deca themselves. Just switch out the community manager, switch out the whole fucking Celtic Heroes team, at least with someone who plays this fucking game. Like, the people at Deca don't even know half the bosses that are in this game. It wasn't too long ago when someone suggested a certain change to Unox being the 215 EDL boss, which drops the shit that you need for EDL offhands, right? And what do the community manager respond to that? What the fuck is Unox Mind Reader? That is the full boss name. He didn't know what that was, or she. I don't know what the fuck gender this guy has. But anyways, you see where I'm going with this. Like, you have a full staff team assigned to this game, as I'm sure you do with all of your games, and you have divisions within the company. Fair enough. But not a single person of the Deca team play this game or even know what this game is like. Like, what is this game? But let's leave that behind, because I could jab for hours regarding this matter, but it's not going to help at all. I'm trying to give you guys a simple, somewhat detailed, just overview of the game. That's it. I could go into details regarding every single part a lot more than I have. But let's move on to the future of Celtic Heroes, which I guess the entire video is kind of regarding, and I think you can maybe put the dots together and realize that it's not looking all too bright. With a track record of Deca having acquired over 20 games, and practically every single game is, dead or fucked or yes, way past its prime, which most of the games they acquire already are as they buy them. But the only game from Deca who are actually doing somewhat decent is the Realm of the Mad God, which is Deca's own game. The only game they have actually developed. That is the only game that is doing somewhat good by like the standards of the gaming world in today's date. And they have what? Which you can see the numbers, and they are looking a whole lot better than Celtic Heroes is. And there's no reason to compare these two games or whatever. I'm simply saying the only game that is doing somewhat decent, I guess by Deca standards, is the only game that they have developed. Their only game made by themselves. But let's move on to Celtic Heroes. Let's stick to the subject. Future of Celtic Heroes. Now, actually, a funny thing, as I am recording this voiceover, Deca puts out this. Tier 8 and 9 spirit mounts. Now this is as close as you're gonna get to the most obvious fucking cash grab you will ever see. When I saw this, I thought it was April Fool's. I thought it was like, what the fuck is the point of this? Because if you don't know, the price for a Nightmare Essence, which is the egg that you need to have or make one tier 1 Nightmare, and then you need 2 for tier 2, you get the fucking point. You need 6 for tier 6, you need 7, or you need 12 for tier 7. How much does that cost? On most servers, anywhere from 5 to 10 million. Maybe 4 million on some servers where it's really cheap. On the PC server, it can go as low as 2 million or even less, but the PC server is brand new as well. Anyways, you're looking at, let's say it costs 5 mil each, which is extremely cheap on most servers. That means 30 million for tier 6, 60 million for tier 7, 120 million for tier 8, 240 fucking million gold. Now, that for me pretty much puts the perfect summary on the future of this game. I don't think I could even put it in any better way than simply showing you guys the tier 9 spirit mount and soon spirit pets that you can get. Because at this point it's not even pay to win, it's beyond pay to win. And that brings us on to the last part of this video, the actual game. Why I even play? Should you play? Pay to win? Question mark. I have been asked that in some of the live streams and stuff that I've done on the game. Is it fun? Is it grindy? What's the endgame content like? Now, let's just quickly summarize the endgame content as I have mentioned and spoken about in the entirety of this video. The endgame area, which is Valley of the Ancients, that was recently added by Deca a couple months ago. That's where everything is. That is the whole endgame place. That's the place to be. And if you haven't been able to tell, there is a shitload of bugs, glitches, lag, performance issues. You get the point. The endgame content in this game it's fun and exciting from someone who has been playing this game for over 10 years. But it comes with a shitload of issues, and most of the endgame gear does not even work, such as the new Crom's Hellborn Mannequin boss drops, which does not work. Is the game grindy? Not particularly. Not compared to a lot of MMO games, but yes, it absolutely requires anywhere from half an hour upwards of 2 hours a day to grind through some of the daily quests and just getting your faction tier up. Is it fun? Not really. I guess it's a personal opinion type of question. Is it pay to win? Yes. I think the last segment of this video with the spirit nightmare essences and shit, it is pay to win. It's always been pay to win. Well, not until like 2013. But anyways, why do I even play this game? And actually, the more I have been thinking about this, I asked that same question to myself. And I have come to the conclusion that I will stop. I will stop playing this game for the most part. And I will stop making videos on this game as well for the most part. I have my Road to Endgame series on Gwyd, which I will continue to upload one video a week of, as I've been doing for the past 6 weeks, I think, 7 weeks. But beyond that, I am stopping with everything that has anything to do with this game, because it's not like I think I make a difference. I don't. If I quit or not, it doesn't matter. The game still exists. People still buy hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of plat, etc. I don't make a difference, but I don't see the point in continuing playing this game, as it's just so fucking shit. I will say, I mean that's not very constructive, but I will say if Deca do fix all of their issues, I will more than happily play this game. But for now, I think it has been, like I said, it's been almost half a year of the same repetitive bugs and glitches and issues being reported, being mentioned, being complained about, and Deca are just not fixing shit. And that's enough of a reason for me to just not see a reason to continue playing until they fix these things. So that is kind of my my own personal opinion and conclusion on this game. I will stop making content on this game. Not that anyone watches or that I'm special or that it makes a difference, but because, number one, there is no actual reason to play this game in its current state. Deca needs to fix their shit, and until they do that, I just cannot, or I don't want to, play the game or make content on this game. Of course, I'll still log in here and there, absolutely, but I will not be streaming, I will not be making videos, I will not be doing anything like that on this game. But beyond that, up until you reach this point in the game where you lag out and crash all the time when you are in Valley of the Ancients, the game is fair enough. You know, you pick a good server, you start lexing, start leveling, get upwards of level 180, whatever. It could be fun. It could be a special game to play, but I don't think anyone who plays this game today would still play it if they were new, right? If you've played this game for 14 years like I have, you're gonna come back to it regardless, even if it's as shit as it is today. But if you are a brand new player and you just try this game out, you're gonna very quickly realize that there are better options for you to play, and you should absolutely play those options instead. So that hopefully puts a conclusion to the video. Like I said, I could go into details regarding all the matters. I could sit here for hours and talk, but it serves absolutely no purpose. I don't think this video serves any purpose at all, because if you play this game or not, it doesn't matter. It's not like my opinion or my own personal take on this game has any fucking matter in the say. The only way that you would actually see a difference is if every single person who played this game stopped playing, stopped buying plats, stopped feeding Deca reasons to just neglect the game because they still make the same money that they would do if they didn't neglect the game. That is an issue, and that is an issue that cannot be solved. But yeah, hopefully now with the new tier 9 spirit mounts, you'll have something to work some extra overtime for, and you can get a mount that can go on 150% speed. Whoa. Anyways, that is it for this video. I don't think you guys did enjoy this video, but feel free to share your own opinion and have a discussion in the comments section. But that is my own personal take on this game currently.